One says all in. I got another humble overhyped one.
Okay.
One that says stay prayed up, and then another Georgia Tech band.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, it's probably
You paying
pretty much
attention
just.
to the watch list you're on now, or the awards watch list? Or you
I mean, of course, I've got tagged in on social media. So, but other than that, I mean, some of my buddies that play on other teams that I see that are on there. Of course, I tell them congrats and stuff. But other than that, I don't really pay attention.
You got the NB band? Never beat, never broken?
I had one, but I don't have one anymore. I think I gave it away to a fan last year.
Okay.
So, what went through your mind when you walked into the hotel and did all the stuff checking into camp today?
I was excited, man. Really enjoyed it. Like I was telling guys, we dressed up as superheroes, so it was really fun. Different feel, being able to, go to the hotel. You're like, man, football's finally here. Like, really enjoying just being able to get back to the game with your boys that you've been working so hard with this off season. So it was really exciting. And then being able to, shuttle over to the stadium, walk in the locker room again. It was like another first time feel. Finally going to be in there full time, so it's really exciting.
Well, how much of the locker room stuff have you figured out now, like the new gadgets and all of that stuff?
Oh, it's all pretty simple. I mean, you have a code. I mean, it's very simple. The little screen at the top, you just press the bottom left corner, it opens up, really simple. Other than that, I mean, everything else is pretty basic.
So what's the feature that you like the most of?
I think when we were given ideas for the locker room, the most important thing that we wanted was the outlets for our phones, because obviously, not having that many outlets when you need to charge your phone or something like that coming from class before practice, you don't have enough outlets, so you might not be able to charge it. So I think that's one of the biggest things that maybe everyone's going to tell you that is like super huge for us is, because our generation now, we're on our phones 24/7, so that outlet's pretty good.
Well, and everybody's got to get their music to walk out, so you need to charge it up and then charge it from walking back to from campus.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your what's your big music that you're into this season? Is there
I'm a big Drake guy, so Drake is gonna be on my game day playlist, no doubt about it. Meek Mill, he'll be on there. Whoever, maybe some other people are gonna drop some stuff before the season starts that I'll put on there, but other than that, I know for sure Drake and Meek Mill are gonna be on my pregame list, especially coming up Jacket Alley. It gets me in my mood.
Who's coach got you rooming with?
I'm rooming with Henri Saint-Amour. So I didn't expect the older guy, but it's all good. Me and Henri we're real good buddies. So
I imagine that's a little easier than someone that's not been through it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when we were leaving the hotel earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm headed down to get on the bus. I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to tell you. I said, you already know what the deal is. You know how it works.
When you look back at your previous years, and you look at the leadership, did you take a close look at that and say, maybe these are things I want to change now that I'm one of the leaders?
Not necessarily, because I think everyone brings in something different to the leadership role. Everyone has a different way of leading. For example, Justin, he wasn't a very vocal leader, but he'd lead by example, of course. Excuse me. If you needed something, he was always there to help you, but I think everyone brings in something a little different to the leadership role, so I try to stay in my own zone of how I like to lead, how everyone portrays that to be, I'm not really sure, but I'm more of a vocal guy. But I think, like I said, everyone brings in their own different taste of how they like to lead.
Overall, as a class, do you think you have a strong group?
I definitely think so. We got a lot of vocal guys on the team, which is sometimes it can be bad, but I think in this case it's a really good thing because I don't always have to say anything because the guys that have been through it and been here for a while, they know how we want things to work and how we want the foundation to be. So I think it's a really good thing that there are other guys on the team that can lead as well.
Having that 1 year of experience, what will that change for you this year, your approach and what you think you can do maybe better?
I'll be more comfortable. I'll be able to see things a lot faster. The game it slowed down for me last year closer to the end, or as the season went on, I should say. But this year it'll definitely slow down even more, so I'll be able to play a lot faster, be a lot more comfortable, have a lot more confidence in everything.
Did you spend any time in the offseason with Jahaziel or any of those in case he had to play center?
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys probably won't know for a while for sure what's going to happen.
I actually got some snaps with a couple of the guys over the off season, so just trying to find that chemistry, where they want my hands at, how they like things, because I always tell them, like, hey, you adjust and I'll adjust to you. I don't want you to adjust to me because you're the one that's down in the stands for that long. So you guys get comfortable, get how you want it to be, and each and every snap, I'll give you feedback like, hey, this is where it's at, and then I'll figure out, where exactly you guys want my hands to be so that, there's no confusion.
Do you feel like it helped? Coach talked about Woody just sending guys corner blitzes and all kinds of crazy stuff. Do you think it helped getting that kind of fire going at you in the spring? I know you weren't getting hit, but still getting to see that, having to react to it.
Yeah, definitely. Because you get a lot of different looks. I mean, a lot of times during the season, you won't find too many teams that'll just fire the corner out of nowhere and have someone get over the top. So I think just seeing different looks like that can prepare you for the future.
You mentioned your offensive line, the center. I mean, talk about it. I mean, that's chemistry, and that's a huge part of this game.
Oh yeah, well you always have that connection with your offensive line, especially your center being a quarterback. I mean, you're getting a snap from him every single play, so that chemistry is going to be there. Like I said, you just have to find to where they're comfortable, and then they get comfortable with you being up under center, and once you find that connection and that chemistry together, everything else is fine.
What did you see in spring that gave you hope maybe for a better performance out of your offensive line this year?
The guys gave me some time, and one of the things I was trying to work on in the spring was staying in the pocket a little bit more, and I was able to stay in the pocket. So those guys, they're getting a better chemistry within each other to know what to do, and that's giving me a better chemistry with them. I tell them, like, hey, if I'm doing this is what I'm gonna do on this. If the guys are running upfield, let them run up, and I can just step up under you guys, and everything will be fine. So just having that connection and chemistry.
You got some targets to throw to.
Oh yeah, definitely, and then everything's fine.
Do you feel like having more of a kind of reasonable ramp up in your schedule will help versus last year when you're just thrown in the fire in the first game against a high level opponent? Having nothing against Alcorn State, but they're not the same level of athletes that you see maybe at other schools. Do you think it'll help you guys adjust as you kind of break that rust off? And you haven't played a game since November of 2017.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I mean, we got a tough game, the second game of the season on the road. So I think Alcorn, they have some great talent, some great players over there. So I think they're gonna come out and play hard. As long as we play our game, I think we'll be fine. But obviously, if you look at our schedule, you can see that as the season goes on, the games get tougher and tougher, especially in the conference. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna go.